probably going to have to knock on 2, maybe 3 times the number of doors that I will have to knock on, or the ladies in your office will have to knock on, to get someone to answer the door for you. Less people are likely to answer the door for to a man than they would for a
Unless you're
woman.
done.
Nothing
Unless
we
you're
can
done.
do about that.
Gotta be smiling and,
Yeah.
Nothing we can do about that.
in the game.
Well, I guess today there is, but we're not gonna go there, okay?
Oh.
You might wanna take a woman with you. Some people
What's her name?
sometimes do that. That might be helpful.
Kristen,
Yeah.
But
isn't that her name now?
take someone with you if you can.
Caitlin.
Don't let it keep you from going. Just know that you have to knock on more doors.
Things we
You
can
can do it. And always ask permission,
Dress like a lady.
permission to speak to people, so that you're not taking of their time. It's when you take from people that they get angry. You know, when people used to call us on those cold calls and made us mad, it was because they called always at the dinner hour, and they never said, am I interrupting anything? Are you in the middle of something? Do you have a minute to speak to me? No, they just went right into their spiel. Hi, is this Mrs. Reuter? And then they went right into their spiel. In fact, I got to the point where I knew when they couldn't pronounce my name, and that's when I hung up, because that was the cold caller. So what we're going to do is ask permission. Then if they give it, then they're giving it freely, and we can freely take it. If they say no, they're busy, we say no problem. Perhaps I'll stop by another time, and we leave. So it's not going to be an issue one way or the other. By the way, if you leave, go back to your office and write a little note. Sorry to have bothered you today when I stopped by. That was not my intent. I just wanted to let you know, and then tell them what you were going to tell them had they given you a minute. For those who give you a
If you
minute,
had given me a
and you
minute.
get to tell them what you're there to tell them,
Say.
then I still want you to write them a thank you note. Thank you for speaking
Make
to
sure you
me
press
today
on.
when I stopped by. It was good to meet you. I'm enclosing my business card again. Write a little thank you note. All right, and then let's look at our reasons that we have available for contacting people. One reason is when we have just listed a new home, a new listing in the area, in their neighborhood. A new property, just listed. Another reason is we're having an open house. And we're going to go around and invite people to it. The third reason is the property is now sold, and we're going around letting people know that. And another reason might be we have a potential buyer for a home in the neighborhood, and we're looking for a home to show them. Now I'm going to take each one of these, and I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to knock on the door, and we're going to have a little,
this
like a
specific
little role
buyer.
play thing
Do you really have to have
with
one
a
for that area?
potential seller. So let's take the first one first.
No, I would imagine.
Turn to page 10. What would you say to a potential seller about a nearby new listing?
Right,
This is your
yeah.
just listed presentation. Goes like this. We knock on the door, we stand back away from the door, I have on my career apparel, my hands are out of my pockets. When the door opens, I say, hi, Tony Bruder, Market Real Estate, how are you today? Listen, I was wondering if you have a minute, I wanted to tell you some interesting news about one of your neighbors. Do you have just a minute? I'm asking for permission. I'm asking for some of her time. But yet notice that I didn't just say, hi, Tony Reuter, Market Real Estate, do you have a minute? Because there's this automatic reflex response that people have, which is to get rid of people at the door. So they're probably, because they don't know what you want, they're probably going to say, actually, I'm busy right now. But in reality, they probably are not. It's called smoke screen, to get rid of you. They say things like that. about one of your neighbors. Do you have a minute?
You got gossip.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, I got
And what you got there?
Let me pause the road and wrestle real quick. Yeah,
She
good.
said, no, she's busy. I say, no problem, sorry to have bothered you. Perhaps I'll stop by another time. And I leave. I write her a little note. I put my card in there, sorry to have bothered you. That's not my intent, just wanted to let you know. And I tell her what I was going to tell her. But this time she says yes. Because actually, I guess I do have a minute. What is it? Well, I just wanted to let you know that the people up the street, the house right around the corner there, the one with the purple awning.
Used to be the drone house? Yeah, we're gonna sell that.
Right. Well, they have just hired us to market their home to them. And in doing so, we like to go out into the neighborhood to let the neighbors know that there is a new property for sale on the street. And just to see if you might know someone or have heard of someone who's interested in a home in the area. I'd love to show it to them.
I just sold a
You know
septic under
anyone?
a house in your neighborhood.
Right.
She said, no, I really
Just make
don't
it
know a lot
happen.
of people. I
Just saying.
haven't lived in this house very long myself. But
have to
I
sell
said,
yours?
lots of getting it
Just
sold.
it.
Thank you so very much. Thank you for your time.
That's pretty good, eh?
Good.
That is pretty good.
And that, I think,
That might work.
I'm not there to ask her to buy the house that I just listed. I'm not there to push further if there's nothing to push for. I'm there to shine. That's what I'm there for. What I really just said to her is, I bet you've never had a real estate agent at your door, knocking on your door, talking to you about a new property they have for sale. 80% of the real estate agents would never do such a thing. I'm a person who really works. I'm out here trying to find a buyer for the new listing up the street. I'm a working realtor. If you're smart and you ever have to sell yours, you should hire me. That's really what I just said. But it all came out different. Now, so different that I bet that you did not even notice, like your agents, that it is not my listing. It's not my listing. It is a Weichert listing. That's why I said the people up the street have just hired us to market their property for
You
them.
sly dog.
Had it been mine, I would have said they just hired me to
Where's
market
that
their
listing
home
you
for
just
them.
got, Judith?
The person behind the door does not hear it or care.
Damn.
So even if you're brand new, you can do this. Because a lot of your top agents no longer have
One of your
time
other workers
to
came
do
by
this
yesterday.
kind of thing. They're so swamped with
Really?
business, your top agent. So ask someone, hi, I see you got a new listing over in such and such neighborhood. Have you been around to tell the
There
neighbors
you
about
go.
the new property
Thank
for
you.
sale? Do you mind if I do?
Causing uproar.
Judith, you mind if I?
Top agents are gonna take
Yes.
care of that. If you can go find a buyer for it,
Okay.
go find a buyer for
Be
it,
back
girl.
in an hour.
They're gonna be glad for you to do that. And you're also making them look good because they can say, oh, we canvassed your neighborhood looking for someone who might know someone. That's one thing we've done for you already. Did you notice I didn't use the word list? I didn't say the people up the street just listed their house with us. I hate that word, listing. I want you, as new people going out of the gate, not to put it in your vocabulary. I mean, yeah, you got to when you're talking to other agents, but when you're talking to the public, it's not about a listing. It's about a home you're marketing for someone. The people just hired us to market their home. The people just chose me to represent their property. Doesn't that sound way better than they just listed? Somebody wants to be on the old list. You know, in their luck, they're going to be on the bottom of the list. We just listed. No, we didn't list. We're marketing the home for them. They chose us to represent their property. And that's your just listed. Now, you can go back to this same house and others when you hold an open house to invite neighbors to the open house. And by the way, if someone says, yes, I know someone, then of course you're going to stay and get that information and try to find that buyer for that property. But in the meantime, you're just looking good in the neighborhood. So that when this woman's husband comes home, out of the blue, and says, you'll never believe what happened today, I lost my job. know anyone who might be interested, send them our way. You have a great day. Bye-bye. That's it. Shiny. She now has my card twice. I bet you she at least remembers my first name. And then I go back when the property's sold. Knock, knock, knock. Hi, Tony Reuter, Weicker Real Estate. Listen, I bet you're getting sick of seeing me, but if you have just a minute, I have some really good news to share with you. Do you have a minute? He said, let me guess. It sold the house up the street. I said, actually, the house up the street is now under contract. We're excited about that, but today I'm out looking for other people who might be thinking about selling. We did run across quite a few people who were interested in this one. Do you happen to know of anybody, maybe a neighbor who maybe indicated that they might be selling? He says, no, not really. What about you? You thought about selling yours? Oh, no, we love it here. You know, we're here to stay. And I've got your card, and I'll certainly, give it to them if I hear of anybody. Thank you so very much. You have a great day. And I'm going to continue this on as many doors around the subject property that I can. As long as my little feet are still working, I'm going to keep going door to door. Now, this may be a community of 300 homes. I cannot knock on 300 doors.
Sure you can.
That would take me way too long.
That's your
By then, the
business.
property
What
would
was
be
that
sold.
you said?
So, I'm
Lazy.
probably going to knock on the immediate streets around the subject property and then send a mailing to the rest. A just listed postcard to everybody else. And that's when mailings are good to send, when you have something good and interesting to say. Not something general. You'll see a lot of very general things out there that our approved suppliers have created. They say things like, a nice new home would be quite a treat. And then they have a pumpkin on it for October. Nobody cares about that. If they don't want a new home, why would they care? Let's give them something that everybody cares about, because think about it. What is it that people want to know about real estate? They want to know the value of their home. So guess what? When you tell them you've got a new property for sale, guess what they're going to ask you? Really, what price is it? They want to know. And when you come back and tell them that it's sold, they want to know what it's sold for. Now be careful on that one. If it's just a pending sale, pending only, not closed yet, then you want to be careful and that you cannot disclose the price until it actually closes. And say so. Unfortunately, because of the privacy laws, I can't disclose that information until the property has indeed closed. Would you like me to make a note to send you a note about that, or give you a call and let you know once it's closed? I'd be happy to do that. Can I call you? You want to be out there as soon as the property is sold, not after it's closed, because oftentimes neighbors are going to make a decision themselves about listing theirs. And if you were sitting in a neighborhood on a street where a property just sold and the sold rider went up, wouldn't you think maybe that's who you should call? And especially if that person's been around knocking on your door promoting that property. So, yeah, they want to know this information. And the interesting thing is that could be that Century 21 sold it, but you're getting the glory. And you know that if they were smart, they would be out there knocking on doors in the neighborhood of your listing, saying, hi, my name is, and I'm with Century 21. Just wanted to stop by and let you know that I just sold the house up the street. Weiser has it listed, but I
There's a-
actually sold it and doing stuff. I ran across other people interested in the neighborhood, looking for homes to
On
show
your
them.
house,
sold
on
one
your
You
in
know
our
street.
anybody who might be
And I got
interested
right
in
now.
selling.
And I got the just sold.
If they were
card.
smart,
Oh.
they'd be
Or
doing
send it
that.
back, return to
And
sender.
because you are smart, you're gonna do it when you sell Century 21's listing.
It's interesting.
And Keller Williams listing, and Prudential's listing, and Sotheby's listing. Go get your own glory. Don't let them get the have a
truly
perfect right to
can't
knock on
smile.
doors in the neighborhood and tell the truth. I just sold the property up the
We
street.
just sold.
Or we just sold the property up the street. We're looking for other
Where do you
homes
live?
in the area to sell. Take your own advice. And the last thing people want to know is what's happening in their neighborhood. So when you're having an open house, you're just telling them the answer to that. Here's why all these cars are going to be here on Sunday. And then a specific buyer is our last one that we're going to do today. Specific buyer. Now, a specific buyer is a truthful thing. Everything we do out here is truthful. We don't make this stuff up.
I've actually done
So
this.
you have to have a potential buyer to go out and say this. And you may not have one yourself, but you can certainly borrow one from someone in
You
the
could
office.
borrow a buyer.
Here's how you do that.
You gonna be my
You're in
buyer?
the office at a sales
I'll be
meeting, and
yours.
somebody's saying, you know what? If anybody knows of any property out in Lakewood,
We used to do that at ERA.
I've got a buyer for Lakewood, but there's nothing for sale out there. I've shown them everything that's on the market. And they're coming in this weekend to look again. I don't have a thing, so
Not a bad idea to do.
I used to hear that all the time in my office. When I was a salesperson, now once I had my own office, I still heard it from agents, and I would then say, well, why don't you go out and knock on doors and see if you can get something to sell them? Then you can make a double bubble.
Yeah.
But when I was just an
Bubble
agent in an office, I would hear people say that stuff. And I would say, well, wonder why they don't go out and try to find one. And they could make a double bubble. But they didn't. So many will not. So many agents will not. So what I want you to learn to do is something I learned to do a long time ago. And whenever people have asked me over the years, put it in a nutshell. Give me one reason that you were successful. How did you do it? And people would start to ask me that when I started training, and I tried to talk about the different things, the multiple different things I did. No, everybody wanted it in a nutshell. So here's the nutshell. I'm giving it to you early on. Not going to wait and give it to you at the end of the course. I'm giving it to you right now. Here's the nutshell. Feed off of the complacency of other people. That's what I did. I looked around, I listened, I thought,